Hi, this is Bob Odenkirk. I play Saul Goodman on the TV show The Breaking Bad.
This is Aaron Paul, and I play Jesse Pinkman.
And this is Peter Gould. I wrote and directed this episode.
This is Vince Gilligan, executive producer of Breaking Bad.
Bryan Cranston's here.
Robert Forster. I play a new character.
And there you are.
That handsome gentleman right there.
Peter, you wanted to talk about this opening shot that we just saw?
Yeah, it's Albuquerque.
It was cool. With Albuquerque with clouds.
That was actually, the strange thing is with this schedule, it was so weird. It was the first shot we did in the episode. So that was
neat.
And so it was you guys' first day. And we had, this is a real vacuum cleaner shop.
Wait a second. Is that our favorite character of all time, Saul Goodman, standing around in a vacuum shop?
It can't be because he's not wearing a suit.
And he would never go to a place like that. He would.
And his hair is so
That's a blue
messed
shirt.
up.
Would he send somebody to get his vacuum cleaner?
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't know where they come from or how they work.
Look at this. I love it.
And it's a real treat, Robert, having you on the show. I don't think ever, Peter, am I correct? Robert's character is never identified by name, but his name is?
Ed. Which I picked because it's short and it wouldn't make the script longer. So I could say,
Look at you, always thinking.
Well, how long did it take you to come up with Ed?
and it took a long time. It did. We kicked it around for about a month, and then. But the funny thing about the character is that we always called him Robert Forster.
Yeah, we did. Robert, did you know that we always, in the room, when we talked about the disappearer character, which dates back to, good grief, dates back 2 or 3 seasons. We always referred to the disappearer before we ever knew we would even meet him as Robert Forster,
really?
Because you were, Robert, you were the archetype for this character long before we ever, Peter ever conceived of this episode.
You know what that tells me, Robert, is that you could have asked for a lot more money doing this show.
Oh, God, every once in a while a plum falls out of the tree and you're having an open hand gesture of some sort and it lands right in your hand. And this was that. And when you called me on the phone and gave me the warm invitation, you said that, it's a huge pleasure to be here on the show.
Our honor to have you.
Well, this is our penultimate episode.
Penultimate.
Yeah.
Oh.
One of the things I think we were thinking about when we worked on that teaser was, what do we do after the, kind of shattering ending of the previous episode? Mm-hmm. And so it was sort of, it felt like the right thing to do to bring Saul Goodman in.
Absolutely.
It's always the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Always.
Look at Betsy looking sad.
Betsy,
Yeah, why is she sad?
That hurts to look at because
Yeah.
she's such a delightful person who's always upbeat.
He's very sweet.
But boy, she can act.
There's been littering here.
Oh, what's happening?
We really don't know because I haven't seen it.
This is what happens when you invite Nazis into your life.
Oh,
this is
Nazis.
They always mess up a party.
You think it'd be a good idea, but then...
you think it's a good idea.
They seem like fun.
Right.
Because of the tats and the booze and so on and so forth.
It seemed a little dangerous, but dangerous in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no.
I love the way you get the guy got the plate spinning there. Was that on purpose?
He did it in a rehearsal, and I said, do that, please.
So is it like a happy accident?
It was, that's the smart thing is to find happy accidents.
That's cool. I always like that. I remember we spent quite a long time in the sound mixing, getting the wobble of the pottery shard sounding just right.
And here are these, this is Jesse Plemons. And one of my favorite things about this scene, in addition to Aaron's, pretty incredible. Aaron actually did I think it was like a 5 or 6 minute monologue here that we just fast forwarded through.
What the hell? That was a lot of dialogue for some fast forwarding.
Yes.
It's pretty great.
Oh, well, thank you.
Not the performance, just the writing.
Right. No, the writing was brilliant.
And I love Jesse Plemons' reaction here as you start talking about him.
I love this smile he gives.
Yeah.
Because Jesse's like, that psycho dead-eyed fuck. And
He's so great.
He's like, oh, that Jesse.
Oh, that Jesse.
And these guys are great. Look, Michael Bowen, Kevin Rankin.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What a great addition to the show.
Most lovable bunch of Nazis ever.
Oh, man, look at him.
They were staying in the same hotel I was. They scared everybody in the bar.
Did they have their tattoos on?
They brought them with them from the set. I'm sure they didn't take them off every night.
Oh, my God.
They were very embarrassed about wearing the tattoos home.
Well, actually, Michael Bowen tried to get on an airplane with the tats, and he wanted to see what, like a sociological experiment. And he was stopped. The TSA pulled him aside, and they were like, "Well, we need to talk to you some more." And then he said, "Look, I'm an actor." He finally went, "I'm going to miss my flight. So much for the experiment. Here's the script. You'll see what I'm talking about."
He has a swastika on his neck.
You're telling me TSA didn't wave him right the hell through and stop the grandmother with a colostomy bag behind him?
Well, it was over 3 ounces of liquid in that colostomy bag.
And I love the relationship between. I like that we get a little. These guys are so horrendous, and we just saw them do this terrible thing in the last episode, and yet there's love here.
A lot of love.
There is. And here Jack actually quotes Woody Allen: "The heart wants what it wants." So, you don't realize that Jack's a Woody fan.
Jack's a Woody fan.
Yeah.
Loves the Woodman.
Yes.
Who doesn't love a Woody?
I love what Mark Freeborn and Michael Slovis did here. To me, this looks a little bit like Eraserhead.
Oh my gosh, I remember this now. Wow.
And look at the special effects makeup.
The makeup.
Can be.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
shout
right.
out
It
to-
was Candy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful job.
Howard Berger and
And Greg
Nicotero.
Nicotero. Yeah. Wonderful
And,
guys.
Tara Day, our normal makeup artist.
There is
Tara's
a lot.
wonderful.
There is a lot of special effects makeup in this episode. I don't think. Hopefully, the audience will not be aware of it at all.
Over the course of the years, Aaron, you wore a lot of prosthetics on your face.
That's true.
You were bruised and beaten so often.
I mean, from the pilot, the solid eyepiece that I'd have to wear, and throughout the season, a lot.
I love this shot. We've done a couple of these over the years. I like the way you did that, Peter.
Oh well, thank you. It was fun to see that there's this underworld, and here are these two. And of course, the question at this point in the episode is what is Walt's reaction to what's happened?
And this was Bob Odenkirk's last scene, correct? This was this was your last scene that you shot, because I remember coming down the set
down in this
to
basement is the last scene. I don't know if this is it, but it's
This is it.
This is it right here?
This is it right here. This is your last scene on Breaking Bad.
yeah, big deal. Big deal. You can basically stop watching after this.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
You know all you need to know. All your questions are answered.
Was this the last scene you shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was.
I got to tell you, Bob, you were always great on this show ever since way back your first appearance in season 2. But I think this is your finest work in this in this scene here. You just did a great job.
Well, thank you so much. Well, I've been challenged as an actor to raise my game in this awesome show with the great writing and the great people I'm playing opposite. So to just not screw it up has been my goal. I don't want to wreck this wonderful
Well, you were great.
thing. So I've had a great time, and this is another great intense scene I get to play with Bryan. So great way to end it.
And you get to play it for the first time ever, I think, not looking like Saul Goodman in a sense. Yeah. And
Saul's been stripped down.
yeah.
The mood and the comportment is so different in Saul at this point.
It is. He gets a little bit of the old Saul when he starts kind of telling you how it is.
Yeah.
But boy, that gets drained away pretty fast.
Goes away right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's no, you guys just tore. And this is, you know, this
both
is
of you guys are fantastic.
this is a 5-page scene, and it's, you know,
How long did it take to shoot this? Was this this was a half a day or full day or?
I think more than a half day.
Yeah,
It was
more than a half day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I was sitting there front and center just watching. It was just like watching like a brilliant play right there.
Wow.
That was great.
You know, it's funny how you look at the character of Saul Goodman, and some people can dismiss him because he kind of glides along the surface, almost like a dragonfly on top of the water. He doesn't get affected. He doesn't get damaged, and yet, when you really look at it, his advice and his knowledge of when to make an adjustment to the action and when to leave, when to give up, the end game, like he's discussing here, is all very accurate. He's quite good at what he does.
Yes.
He's great.
This is all good advice. I think
Could
this is
have all
excellent.
worked out if there wouldn't this ego one, Walter White, this out of control
Hey, I
midlife
just said
crisis.
something nice about you. And all of a sudden,
No, your character is the one with the problems. I think you're a wonderful fellow.
well, we need somebody grounded to help us understand what
You've
Walt's
got
doing.
Saul Goodman is the most grounded person. That's nice universe that you created.
He is.
the irony of
He
the
is,
whole
he
thing.
is the most grounded character.
Am I through?
I love the lighting in this scene too. By the way, this is one of my favorite lighting. Hey, there's a man.
Oh, and,
I love the keys in the belt. That was a good touch.
and I love. There's a little piece of timing here where I'm going to leave you two alone. I laugh every time I see it, Robert.
Change your plans.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get into that.
No, hey, this might be a lover's quarrel.
There you go.
Yeah, you get the feeling that Robert would flow with anything, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
whatever you guys are up to is fine with me.
Just as long as I get paid.
My name is Paul, and it's between y'all.
That's right.
As Kelly Dixon likes to say, or we thought she
I
did.
thought you did. Yeah.
It's Kelly Dixon who cut this episode and just did an incredible job.
That's right. She did. This is her last episode as an editor.
Uh-oh. Here
And
it comes.
this was a callback to Michael Slovis's episode in the first half of this season 5. This one, and it's except the positions are reversed.
It does not go. It was that on purpose going to that other side.
Oh, of course, everything is intentional. You know that.
That's
This is
true.
all. It's all like a chess match played
Worked
by
out nicely.
deep blue.
Yeah. So this was, by the way, this was a set that Mark Freeborn designed and W. Gilpin and his crew built, and Michael Flowers and his folks decorated. This is just a little set on one of our sound stages.
This episode, I think, of all the episodes I worked on, had the most sets. And W was importing. He was calling in people from all over New Mexico to work on these sets because they had to be built so quickly. And you'll see a few of them coming up.
Yeah.
And here's Brennan Brown, who is just, I think, he's wonderful.
Even listening?
He's and Eric Price from Mad TV,
Yeah.
who we all loved on Mad TV, and to me embodies the lawyer you don't want to have.
The deer in the headlights.
The
is,
deer in the headlights.
as
lawyer.
Robert's character puts him later.
I understand.
And one of the things I think is fun about the scene is that Anna doesn't speak until the very end, but she gets almost the last word, really.
You know, also subliminally, what's great about this scene is that we recognize no one except Anna. It helps us feel the aloneness
Yeah.
of her plight.
I don't.
And she's talking to DEA here, or
It's
the feds?
It's the feds.
Yeah.
And well, Todd Terry actually next to Brennan here is he
He is the SAC, SAC.
yeah,
right?
he's the SAC out of El Paso, who is the one DEA representative, but I guess the rest of them are U.S. attorneys.
And Todd appears. He appears twice in this episode. This was his second appearance, and he actually goes all the way back to season 2
Oh wow,
to episode. So he was actually on the show before Bob. Believe it or not.
that's so cool.
But kind of like Bryan said, it's you have to be a real close watching fan to recognize him in a sense. He's always done a great job for us, so he's a really fine actor.
He really is.
Yeah.
She's not sneaking cigarettes anymore. That's the one good thing that came of all this.
Oh, she's chewing tobacco at this point.
And mainlining.
She has a patch on. You can't see it. Nicotine patch and a cigarette. And
That's how she weaned herself off Walter White, too.
That's right.
There's a Walter White patch that she had.
Anna is so great. This scene, this is such a shock here. This moment scares me every time.
Yeah.
She is so good here. These guys are all great. Obviously, it goes without saying Jesse Plemons is great here, and Kevin Rankin. And I think the big guy in the back is Tate, I believe.
That's right.
Yeah, back by the other end of the crib there. But what really, and they're all fantastic. And Jesse Plemons is so underplayed here, which is beautiful the way he plays it. But Anna is so goddamn scared here, and she is. I mean,
He's been there all week.
I don't even think. It doesn't even feel like she's playing scared. She's just. I mean, obviously it's all acting, but I mean, she just really. It's like beyond, like another level here.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine?
Well, that's really what makes something scary. I spoke to a director who does horror movies for a living, and I asked him what makes a scary scene, and I expected him to talk about the sound or the lighting or even the rhythm, and he said it's acting. It's if the performances are really good, you will be scared.
You know something? That's an excellent point, and I believe that wholeheartedly. And yet, one of my favorite scary movies is the Changeling with George C. Scott?
Oh yeah,
Was that the name of it?
that's a great movie.
And yet,
Directed by Peter Medic.
Yeah, Peter Manick, one of our wonderful Breaking Bad directors, directed it in '79, and it's a scary as hell movie. And yet, George C. Scott is this big, tough, burly guy living in a haunted house, and he's not really scared, and yet you're still freaked the hell out as you watch that whole movie.
Well, because you think he should be scared.
Yeah.
That's at least how I read it. And George C. Scott is, the thing about it is, even if he's not being scared, he's so real that you believe the situation, or at least I do.
You believe he's the one guy on planet Earth who would continue to live in a haunted house.
That's right.
Because he's that tough.
That's right. They solved the haunted house problem.
Yeah, they did.
So why the hell don't you move out of the haunted house?
Good.
God, look at Jesse's eyes.
I know.
Yes.
Look how his left eye almost looks like the thing looks like almost like heart shaped. The hole in the mask there. It's like a sideways heart.
And
I always like that.
And Jesse did this with the hand.
That was
Putting
his
the hand on
touch.
it. Yes, that was his touch.
Very creepy.
Yes. Well,
Oh, God.
it's creepy because it's caring.
Right. Just, I mean, can you imagine, middle of the night, walk in, 3 Nazis in masks surrounding your
Look
baby.
at that face, too.
No. Oh.
Don't look too close at the fake baby here.
Oh, no.
Whoops, I probably shouldn't have said that.
And
to the
speaking of
audience.
Jesse, here's Jesse, and why is he drinking tea? Who drinks tea?
That's crazy. Oh, wait a minute. I know who else drinks tea. That's what's going on in his mind.
That is, and the music is doing that too.
I love this. I love this callback to.
yes.
Yeah.
She insisted
She's
on this
so- I
before with
love
Mike,
it.
right?
Yeah.
And Mike was
right.
like, will you relax and sit across from me?
That's right. Back in 502, I think it was.
But Todd goes along with it, and it was so much fun to do a scene with the characters back to back like this, and Todd does not want to be back to back.
No.
He keeps turning around.
It's nice that you can tell that he showered and put on some aqua velva, and he was ready for this.
And he's dressed like he works at Best Buy. So, this is dressed up for him.
What can I get you? Chamomile tea was.
This is at the Grove restaurant on Central in Albuquerque.
That's right.
We've shot here several times.
This is my favorite place.
I love this place.
I love, they make bacon here that is just unbelievable. That was my big disappointment for shooting this scene, because we we couldn't make hot food, so I couldn't eat the Grove bacon. It was
Peter, you're the director. Your word goes.
I had so much bacon in Albuquerque. I haven't touched bacon since.
You have to write it into the scene next time.
There you go. I don't want prop bacon.
The
You know
character- no, you have to say-
You know what'll happen.
Yes.
Well, your rabbi is turning over now, is listening to all this.
We're gonna have to take a break.
There you go. Yes, you can tell I'm
I love this place.
very adherent.
I love this place, but it is, and the people are great, and does have indeed wonderful bacon. It's tricky to shoot in though. This place, it's a real wedge.
It is.
It's a real pie-shaped kind of wedge of a restaurant. It's tricky to shoot in. There's not that many angles you can shoot.
It is, and it's tricky, especially when you want the characters to feel that they're a little bit secluded, because it would be more picturesque to put them in the middle of the restaurant, I think. But we've always wanted to put them by these windows because that's sort of in a corner.
And also, you get that beautiful Michael Slovis light when you get to partially or completely silhouette the actors.
And you get tremendous depth, so that on this angle you can't tell as much, but on a little higher angles you can tell there's a lot of movement in the background.
That's
and
true.
Real street traffic going on.
You're right, Brian. I should have put that camera.
I didn't want to point anything out,
No,
but
it's, you know. And they just came in so beautifully prepared for this scene. Good. It was.
Oh yeah,
it
Laura
was-
Fraser, by
yes,
the way.
Laura did.
Yeah, she's great.
I did not know she was Scottish till I talked to her. at the
till she
party
headbutted you.
Oh yeah.
and took my rugby ball. Ran 3 steps and then threw it.
And I love this.
Oh, look at that.
This little touch here where he.
He pulls a little bit of dust off her. That was his idea.
There we go.
There's the man.
Where the hell are we?
See that weird?
Living the high life. Top of the world.
There's a
That's what you get, you
stalagmite
see?
too. There.
That thing, yeah, he would have hit his head on that somewhere
hope
during the
not.
2,200-mile drive here.
Well, you don't know how long he's been in there.
He's been in a cave,
So it's
and
all
that's
in
why
big.
it
Yes.
had to have this effect. This is, for the most part, real snow. We're up at Sandia Crest, which is 10,500 feet on top of the Sandia Mountains in Albuquerque. So it roughly 25 to 30 miles just away from our stages, and we're in snow.
Somewhere in that snow is a computer. All right. That was stolen. Really?
Oh yeah.
Somewhere in that snow.
Oh, your iPad. That's, right.
Yes.
This,
My car was broken into.
Because you were scouting.
Earlier
You were
there.
scouting this location. weren't you?
Well, you got it back,
I
right?
kinda was,
I mean, they got it back,
No,
right?
nothing was received back.
Shoot.
I can't comment on an existing
okay.
case, so it's like,
seriously?
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know what's happening with that.
And here's
That's penalty. That's what I say. Give it to him.
Script didn't get out. That's the good part.
And here's this this beautiful Mark Freeborn set, which is just so beautifully dressed and so real.
It really does not look like a set. You can't think of it that way.
We're in, we're on the stages here.
And it was this was a great day for me to see you guys working together on this scene.
And
Two copies.
2 copies of Mr. McGorium. No offense to Mr. McGorium.
No, we love Mr. McGory.
That's right.
Oh, that is such a funny choice. Have you ever watched the movie?
Yeah, a little bit.
I have not seen it.
Yeah.
Kids love it.
Yeah.
What you're paying me for, not toilet.
So Robert's character did a wonderful job putting this together, I would say.
Yeah, we searched this place out, remote,
My clients and I
nowhere to go,
have an ongoing relationship.
and here you are.
Nice rug.
Nice rug.
The rug really pulls the whole
Nice
room
man
together.
with a fish.
Yeah.
I think Walt's not really appreciating all your hard work here, Robert.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like a prisoner here.
That's what you bargained for.
That's right.
Let's not argue.
I got to say, though, Ed, the disappearer, really is good at his job, clearly. I mean, because I got to think, how many reconnoitering trips and supply, and trips setting this place up had to happen before he even brought Walt out here. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good man.
Yeah.
Does his job. Leaves you the number to the nearest pizza place.
What an odd
all you
job
get.
that would be, wouldn't it?
You know what? Didn't George Masters?
That's right, he did.
Yeah.
What?
He was.
used to do
He
it
did.
for a
I thought he did.
There
Yeah.
was a.
So I guess he did. All
This
right,
was
let's move on.
The character was inspired by an article, I think it was in Men's Life, which was about a guy who did a version of this job. He didn't actually hide people who were necessarily criminals, but it was people who wanted to get away.
That you know of.
That's what he.
No,
That's what he
wouldn't admit to
claimed.
that.
That's what he claimed.
Really?
And it was very interesting how he went about it and what his problems were. And his biggest problem with his clients was that they would call home.
Yeah.
That they would want to get in touch with people in their lives. And this is Ed doesn't want you to do that.
No, it's bad for Ed, bad for business, bad for everybody, pretty much. Yeah, I think the real life guy concentrated on like women who were had been beaten up by abusing spouses and whatnot, and just like, helping them start a new life and whatnot. They did a great job. The art department also did a great job on this truck. I love the paint job on this truck.
And when we're inside the truck, the original script, you actually saw how Walt was transported and he was moving around, and we just didn't end up having time for it in the episode. So the one shot that we actually see inside the tank is inside the real tank.
Yeah.
That was brave, I thought of Bryan. I wouldn't have gotten in that thing.
There's a man with all this money and can do nothing with it. That's so
It is. It's like a guy in a rowboat, like in the ocean, like water everywhere.
with no paddles.
yeah, not a drop to drink, as it were. Yeah.
I mean, I'm
He's going to
hoping.
go buy some more snow.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the audience at this point is wondering, Walt doesn't seem to be suffering from the impact of what just happened with Hank and with his family. He seems to be, he hasn't really taken it in. And he's got his mojo here. And I think that's ultimately one of the things this episode's about is Walt losing his mojo.
Yeah. And he thinks the hat's going to do it.
It always has.
Man on a mission.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
There were a whole series of these hats, weren't there, Bryan?
Can you go stare down
Yeah,
the
we
leaves?
had as a benefit, I wore 6 or 7 different hats and signed each one. Actually, and every hat that I signed was in a scene that you see on screen here. And then I think they were auctioned off or something like that for charity. Am I correct in assuming that?
Oh.
I think that somebody just is putting them on eBay and taking the money home. Charity, I don't know the charity comes into
This
it.
was a tough scene because it was so internalized to figure out why can't he go?
Because he's a pussy.
Yes.
Next question.
I love it. He says tomorrow, and you think, well, maybe he is gonna get rested up and come back tomorrow, and then you find out, no, maybe not so
that
much.
Makes more sense.
I like the pussy answer myself.
That's right.
There's no pussy to him whatsoever.
Well, that was the breakthrough. That was the breakthrough on the episode. Was like, why? Well, how is this all working? And it was suddenly we said, no, this is he's pussing out.
no,
Wait, right.
that's not the way I saw
No,
it at all.
and I'm just joking. He's not. This is a man. He's been reduced physically due to his cancer. His family has basically forsaken him. His son in the last episode called 911 on him and told the police his old man was a murderer. He's got to walk 7 miles down a mountain in sub-freezing weather, and when he gets down there, what the hell is he going to do? It's
Exactly.
This is
Look at that balance.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, look at that balance.
This is so.
How scary was this, by the way? Or was it?
It wasn't. I mean, I actually had a harness on.
You didn't want it. You didn't.
I
want
didn't.
the-
I was
you
trying
kept saying,
not
"Can
to."
I do this without the harness?"
And they said no. And so Ben Scissors actually wore a harness along with me.
I also put the harness on,
Oh, you did? Yes,
but
you
you,
did.
you didn't. You didn't think I had it on tight enough.
Dream. I didn't know what you liked, so I got you some of each.
What's the deal behind this cage? Was this here, or was this built, or what was the deal?
When we scouted the location, we were saying, well, where are they going to put Jesse? And we found that there was this pit, this open pit on the location. And then we shot, some of it was on location, and then this was a set that was built on the stage too.
Why did they have the pit though?
The pit, I believe, to the best of my, I'm no expert in like civil engineering, but it looked to me like some kind of a water drainage box. It did not have the it did not have the steel bars over top of it in the real place.
Okay.
That was added by the art department. But it was, I think it was some sort of a water holding,
Tomorrow's gonna be a big day.
some sort of water holding thing.
And there was a kind of a spout on one side that we covered up. So yeah, I think that is right.
Yeah, but it was as you'll see on the on one of the digital extras there. It's on your either your Blu-ray or your DVD device,
Or whatever is invented in the future.
or whatever's in the future. This beams straight into your medulla oblongata.
You always do that.
No, I just making Carrie crazy. It was either this little pit or it was that weird phallic-looking smokestack in the background.
That's right.
We're gonna put Jesse in the base of that thing, and I climbed into that thing, and it was just chock full of asbestos.
We used to call that Big Tom.
Yeah, so we did, and it was that would have been unbelievably horrific to shoot in, as well as giving us all mesothelioma. So
I didn't realize how efficient Jesse was with a paperclip.
No, I got to tell you, actually, it's not that difficult to
Yes.
To unlock handcuffs with a paperclip. I taught myself.
Really?
How to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you kept on opening them up on the set during we were shooting the
see
scene.
if I could actually do it on screen. I wanted to use the real handcuffs. and
Well,
we
we'd shoot you working on it, and you say, "Oh, I got them open again."
So did you get? So you can't see it. It's been erased, but you had a wire going to a harness underneath your shirt there. But that was your jump. You did that and grabbed that thing.
you do
man.
that?
Yes,
jump?
yes, I
No
did.
resistance.
Maybe. I mean,
There was encouragement.
there's encouragement.
I was cheering him
like
on.
you did it.
It looks great. I think you did it, man. It looked
I had
great.
a lot. Yeah, let's just say I did it.
Well, that was I was really proud of that shot because I wanted to see you head to toe.
This is my one. This possibly is my favorite bitch coming up.
Oh, the favorite bitch ever.
Oh my
I
God.
love this bitch.
Oh, really?
Well, hopefully, let's see it. Let's see what take you chose, but
Uh-oh.
I don't know if you chose the correct one.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
This is a lot of pressure.
When I read it, I just loved it. So
I hope it doesn't get.
Come on.
It's great it's great on the page. It was great in the performance.
this was actually really exhausting.
I
Yeah.
bet it was.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, this whole
right
sequence.
here. Yeah.
This whole sequence was
Bitch.
tough on you,
he's just running.
and you do a great job of
running.
running too. Yes.
He just wants out of there.
This was at the time they said this was one of the biggest lighting setups we'd ever done.
Oh yeah.
This because I think we may have topped it, but
I know. I don't know if this was.
was-
I don't know if we topped it since. I don't know.
one of the big nights.
They had to build all that fence, by the way.
Yeah.
That was none
Did
of that
they?
was there. Yeah, none of that was there.
Wow.
I think you hire a fence company, but I mean, all this stuff costs money and manpower, and
And this
This was rough.
now you
too.
really are
On my
climbing a
fingers, yeah.
fence.
Yeah.
The problem we had was keeping up with you. You went up really fast, and this is on a techno crane.
I'm good.
You're like a little
climbing.
monkey. You did great, man.
And this is also a great music cue from Dave Porter.
This is a great, and I love. You're such a badass here, man. I love this. I love this bit.
I'm doing one more cook.
And on your digital Blu-ray DVD device, you're going to be able to hear the actual F-bomb.
Yes.
Yes.
But this also goes to another guideline. In addition to not inviting Nazis into your home, don't taunt the Nazis.
Yeah.
Don't taunt.
Don't taunt.
You know, Jesse's really been through a lot during this show.
Don't poke them with sticks.
That was
Don't taunt the
an
Nazis.
80s punk group
Yes.
taunting
Teach your
Nazis.
children that.
Yes, teach your children don't.
Oh, this is a horror.
It's tempting.
Oh my God, this
This
scene.
is just.
This is hard to watch.
Emily is so good here.
When I read this, my jaw hit the floor.
Yeah, this is rough.
My name's Todd.
This is rough. And talk about who actually does the stunt.
Trina.
This is Trina. Trina.
Yeah,
Yes.
Trina has a fake wig on with kind of like a padded wig.
Actually,
right?
it's a real wig.
Well, right, but it's a real wig, but it's padded on the head, and so she would just fall, and her head would hit the ground.
So it's like a football helmet with like hair glued to it.
Kinda, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
But no, we asked our stunt coordinator, who would you pick? You know, were you giving this to Trina because she works on the show? Right? He said, no, she's the best in New Mexico.
Yeah, she's a stunt girl.
and
She's a sweetheart.
But she wasn't when the show started.
This
and this
is-
is oh,
And this is some excellent acting, Aaron.
is.
Everybody in this is great. I would talk about how you did the blood. You put a sponge.
we put a sponge. Oh, there she goes. and the choice was not to go close on that.
Oh, it's
And
much better.
I did not. I did not shoot it close because I think it's
That's much more impactful.
We're in Jesse's head.
It's Jesse's head, yeah. Oh God, Aaron.
And this is kind of a shattering moment. This was actually hard to watch while we were editing and mixing. We all got wrung out just watching this scene over and over again.
Dave Porter wrote a wonderful piece of music for this, as he always does. He's a genius composer, and yet Aaron is the moment is so fraught, and Aaron is so wonderful that we actually decided in the mix to not even put the music in there.
Good choice.
I love this. I love this shot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
Hey, wait, he didn't go back down the mountain the next day.
Yeah.
What a great.
You hit that mark very nicely, by the way.
That's why we put the fence there.
Oh boy, like a dog. Master, he's home.
Tell him about how you broke the window here.
Yeah. Yes. Tell Bryan. Do you remember what happens
So
here?
I step aside, and I'm so excited to see him. I wanted to tap the window, and I hit it, and I smack. I broke that back window.
And that's why
broke it?
I broke it.
It's
yeah.
why it's cut right on that frame, because the next frame you see the window shatter.
How'd you break it? Just by slapping
I just
it?
happened to hit it in the right place, but
He's
powerful
So
man.
much power.
Yeah.
And it's got,
Were you just so shocked?
oh, it was amazing.
and then I couldn't do a take two. The window was broken.
I'm so glad you're wearing gloves, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
No, you know what it was? It was a combination of things. It was brute force power, and also they had changed out the windows to get rid of the tint, and it was not automotive glass, so it really could have cut the shit out of your hand. I'm
wouldn't
so
break
glad.
away.
I'm so glad you're wearing gloves.
And it turned out to be a great cut point, didn't it? It's like boom, impact of something happening.
And this is Robert. You had all this business to do during the scene, and you matched it every time, Robert. I don't know how you did it.
You know, you just you start building a route for the scene, and it includes this and this and this. And you try to get it right, and so that it can match. In the beginning of my career, matching was a real big deal. Nowadays, they shoot a couple of lenses per shot, and often the matching is not nearly as hard to make happen.
Huh.
How did you learn the matching? Did someone have to teach you?
Yeah, right at the beginning, they told you, you can't do this, you got to do that, and the number of rolls you got per day was much, much fewer. So you had to be pretty complete by the time they said action. And you do some rehearsals and see if you can't refine it, but no longer.
I loved doing this scene, and in fact, it was almost a shame to cut it into pieces and to use and to edit it, because it really played in this angle.
Yeah,
It was
it's
you
great.
guys did such a beautiful job, and it was so touching.
I'm guessing, Robert, you didn't learn your wonderful ability at matching from when you worked with Marlon Brando.
This was earlier in his career, and he was still remembering the words.
Oh, okay.
So he didn't have notes pinned up and whatnot, as I heard about later. But he was an interesting guy.
Oh, man.
This
I wish we'd do a whole other commentary just to hear Robert's stories. He's got great ones. We've been lucky to hear some of
What'd
them.
you work on Brando with?
Reflections in a Golden Eye, the first picture I ever did. John Huston directed it.
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, he gave me some interesting, simple notes about what you do in front of a camera. He said, take a look through the lens, and I looked through the camera. And then he had his fingers up the way directors do to show you what a frame looks like. And he said, now ask yourself this. What needs to be there? He gave me the responsibility and the authority to try to figure out what had to be there and deliver it when you get to the set. That's at least you
simple
start from there.
way
Then
of
you
looking
figure
at
out what the director needs
What
and
matters?
everybody else. And
This is one of the most heartbreaking moments. This is talk about sympathy for the devil. This is Bryan, the way you play this moment is just heartbreaking. And what I love, Robert, the way you play it in return is you don't have, you are not an unkind man. Your character here is not an unkind man, but you're not going to be emotionally sucked into this guy's life, and you're going to take the $10,000 in order to stick around for an hour, not for 2 hours. And I just love this moment between you guys.
Well, there's a barrel full of money, but at least this character gives him the truth, levels with him.
Yeah.
I'll take 10 G's and I'll only spend an hour. The rest of that barrel is yours if you survive.
And the disappearer here, I mean, he's a man of his word. He's an honest man, but he is not going to, he's not, you know, this guy, this character, he's worked hard to disappear, as it were, has made his own bed. And so he's not going to feel an undue amount of sympathy for him. This is a business arrangement.
And he's a careful guy. He's careful and he levels.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, I love. Hey, talk about the coming up here at the end of this. The two kings. Was that just the way it came up?
First time. After that, we set him.
Yeah. It was just a nice coincidence that it happened that way.
Well, sometimes one of the things I like to do, I think that works really well, is to just not call cut. To be a little bit slow about calling cut, and you guys started adding things to the very end, and we actually kept a version of what was improvised.
Oh yeah.
So I was very, very happy with that. I'm just so pleased with the way the scene came out, because we really are. You know, the question is always, when is Walt going to hit bottom, and when is Walt going to see himself for what he really is and what he's really done? And I think that this scene and the next scene, I think that's as close as we ever get.
Wonderful scene. You two gentlemen, it's like watching a master class in acting. It's just great. Both you. I love all that. The light in the window is added digitally.
Whoa.
Yeah, we got some wonderful Bill Pulowski and the wonderful folks that keep me posted.
And I'm in this scene. That was my little appearance there. I'm actually in one of the clippings above Bryan here.
At the newspaper
and
clippings?
I did my best to not feature myself, because I felt the scene was because the scene is kind of strong. I didn't want to have this goofy face looming over you.
Peter's original idea was to play Walt in this one scene.
That's right. That's right. Yeah,
Excellent.
well, this is all based on personal experience.
How'd you make that ring fall off?
Right, what you know.
It was an oversized ring, and it was just enough to when I can turn my hand from facing up to down in a natural movement that it would just slide off. We tried a bunch of different things, some kind of lubricant, and this and that and the other, and sometimes it would. I think in some outtakes you're seeing my hand like shake to try to get it off. It's like,
This was literally shot at 3 a.m. So
was it?
Wow.
Yes, it was.
Thanks for that, Peter.
You can tell.
Well, it's the way the schedule fell.
I have bedhead.
Yeah.
It's not because I shot particularly long.
This, by the way, that's the wig, right?
Yes.
It's
That's
just
right.
Fantastic wig and beard work.
It's amazing.
Big and the neck.
And the neck and the
neck
prosthetic.
prosthetic.
Now, was that done by Tara and
Yeah.
Jordy?
Well, it can be made it, and then the application of which, we had special effects makeup artists come in and take care of that.
And the hair was done wonderfully. All that stuff is very, very tricky to do right. You got to have a lot of skill and talent.
It's also something we had to think about when we were scheduling, because we were in the snow only for one day, but we had 2 different looks. And so we really had to think about what we shoot first, and changing looks, changing makeups, because we're shooting scenes that take place months apart, all on the same day within hours of each other.
And you had a company called Snowbiz helping add in some
right.
fake snow along with the real stuff.
That's right. Well, Snowbiz spent a lot of time actually moving real snow around.
Oh, right.
And it turned out, I thought it was going to be very high tech, and it was in some circumstances, but here we're on national park land, and they would not let us use a lot of products that we would normally use. And so a lot of time Snowbiz was shoveling snow and wheeling it around in wheelbarrows.
Wow. By the way, that shot that went by a second ago with the 2 tire tracks, those tire tracks were added in digitally.
No way.
It's amazing what they could do.
Wow.
Yeah. There's poor Walt Jr. there.
This was a fun scene to do. It was like being a camp counselor.
Yeah.
Is this all the same place? Is this all the same real high school that we shot in before?
We have shot in this high school. This is
El Dorado High School.
El Dorado.
Yep.
It's the high school where the PTA meeting was in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where Walt was filling up Skyler?
That's right. Was that season 2? Season 1.
Season
1.
God, yeah. I love this lady.
Yes.
She's great. And this place is a real bar up at top of Sandia Crest as well, isn't it?
No.
Oh, no.
It's in Taharis. Taharis, I guess that's how you pronounce it.
Oh, okay.
On the other side of the Highway 40, south of the Highway 40.
Okay, gotcha. Not too far from the crest, but not on the crest, just down the hill a little.
And now we are in the sequences. We originally shot this on my birthday last year in 2012, and this is these are the sequences that were damaged and we had to reshoot because of the airplane rolling over the film.
Oh my God! Yes, tell them that story.
only some of it. So they're intercut between the reshoot and the original shoot.
But a 730, I think it was at LAX. I don't think it was at the Albuquerque airport. But the film, we still shoot, we're probably about the last show, one of the last 2 or 3 shows, probably in the history of the world that's ever going to shoot on 35 millimeter negative, which is, don't even get me started, a real shame because 35 is still, I think, the best way to go, although a lot of smart people argue with that. But what it entails is you got to shoot the stuff and then air freight it to from Albuquerque to Los Angeles to develop it. And some guy driving on those little cargo luggage things let the film drop off after it was unloaded from the airplane at LAX, and a 737 full weight rolled right the hell over it and destroyed a bunch of the film. So that was an interesting insurance claim.
Yeah, when they showed me the pictures, I thought, and it's just it looked so comical.
Yeah.
They were like flat, so unbelievably flat.
They were delivered to the lab, some of them in garbage bags, a tangle of film in garbage bags, which is what you don't really want to see.
But the light-proof plastic bag inside the metal film can held up, and a lot of not all the film, some of it was utterly destroyed, but a fair bit of it, which, as you said, is intercut into the scene, was still viable.
And because the scene is so raw, and Bryan's work here is so raw and specific and honest. It was kind of rough to ask you to do that a second time.
It was rough to do it a second time. We had so nearly 3 hours of makeup with that stuff, and then to have to relive it. Usually, when you go through an emotional scene like that, you're glad you went through it, but you're also very glad it's over because it's exhausting. And then we had to do it over.
We ended up using mostly the original.
How does that help me? How does that help me,
some
Peter?
Of both.
And wasn't where was the location? Wasn't it kind of far away?
It's kind of out there. It's like out east of Albuquerque and south of the 40 in Taharis.
You'll see the exterior in a little while, and on the day that we shot, we had to put snow up, and our police advisor came up to me and says, "So what are you going to do about the cactus?" And I said, "Cactus?" And I look, and there is a giant cactus right in front of the location. And nobody saw it. Everybody had gone. Everyone had gone to this location. No one saw this huge cactus. So we, if you watch really frame by frame, you might see it. It's white with snow. You'll see later on.
It's a tourist attraction in New Hampshire.
The one
lone cacti in New Hampshire.
And by the way, I got to say, RJ did such a damn fine job.
How about it, man? That was awesome to watch. I'm not listening. I can't wait to see it on
RJ
play.
RJ,
man, that was amazing.
RJ was great, and Carmen Serrano, great seeing Carmen again.
Yes,
as now she's moving up to principal. Apparently, she was assistant principal.
Hey, she's doing well in her career.
Justifies the new office. And RJ really came so prepared that day. And it was really a special day.
He really brought it. It's great. I mean, he always does.
And Bryan, what you don't see is that Bryan is crouched in the office. RJ is here at this location, and Bryan is at the school location, and they're right off camera, playing for each other, and it's something that's really special and makes a big difference in the scene, I think.
And a lot of actors don't do that, and a lot of because. I don't know why.
Aaron Paul doesn't do that.
Well, he's in features. Bryan, he's in features now. You really can't expect these things.
I moved on from. That's not true.
I think he said the words, "I don't do TV."
This is the dimple pinch here is a little shout out to my girlfriend Holly's father, who passed away a few years ago. That was his favorite scotch, and it is quite good.
It is a good scotch.
Yeah.
This is
Now,
Kurt
what are you
Saunders.
really drinking there?
Of course, it's just like a little iced tea. Or
Iced
something.
tea. With scotch in it.
Of course, a couple times I mispronounced. I said called it nipple pinch.
Nipple pinch. Miraculously, never when the camera was on your mouth. I don't know why. I don't know. That's
I just tried to say something once in a while.
Nipple pinch.
A little nipple pinch.
And
He goes, you mean dimple pinch? No, I want you to pinch my nipples.
What Peter Sellers movie was that?
That's The Mouse That Roared.
The Mouse That Roared.
And there was a little bit for the lady from Shanghai that you hear. You see, but you don't. And here, oh my God.
Who's this?
Yes. There we Jessica and Adam and Charlie Rose.
Yeah,
Charlie Rose, everybody.
And even though this was, I don't know if this you consider as part of the official shoot, this was the actual last piece of film shot for Breaking Bad. I got to go to New York, and we got everybody together and did a little Charlie Rose show. And Charlie Rose and the Charlie Rose people were just great. And we had a lot of fun. And of course, Adam and Jessica are just such aces.
Oh, yeah. Great seeing Jessica as always again. Great seeing Adam Godley, who we have not seen since episode 4 of season 1. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a Swiss watch.
It's
a Fabergé egg, Vince.
And it was difficult because Jessica was actually doing a Broadway show at the time.
That's right.
And we had to squeeze her in and shoot a couple sequences out of show order, in order for her to be able to make this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. No, you're right. Yeah. It was some tricky scheduling, figured out beautifully by Michelle McLaren and Melissa Bernstein and Stu Lyons, our wonderful producers. They really made it happen. I was despairing because, as if you're listening to these commentaries, you've already seen all the episodes, so you know how important Elliot and Gretchen are in the next episode, our final one. And I was like, oh man, we're not going to be able to do this thing. We're not going to be able to get Jessica, and our wonderful producers worked it out. I was really freaking out.
And by the way, I just love Dave Porter's cue here.
This is my favorite cue probably ever that Dave Porter did. The one that's starting about now. Yeah, coming up here.
I agree. I haven't liked anything he's done thus far, but this is the only one I think is really appropriate.
This is the only time he's ever used the title theme in the body of the show.
Yeah.
And it's really... It helps to bring us, hopefully, for me anyway, it brings us to a feeling of, we're coming up to the close of this. This guy has reached who he's going to be.
I think it's appropriate. This is the first time that we've seen this. Any of the actors watching this right now, making this commentary, we haven't seen this episode, and this is the first time we're watching it where everybody's talking
There's
over.
the cactus.
And you're watching it
cactus.
silent because we got to be able to talk.
I didn't see the cactus.
Yeah, well, you have to go frame by frame.
It's off to the left side of the frame.
These are real police officers.
Yeah.
These guys did a good job.
Oh, now I can hear the theme song.
It's really
that's a great idea.
It's a great idea. It was
let
all
it
Dave's.
come home and roost.
Yeah, it's great. It gave me chills when I heard it the first time.
You left a nice tip.
Yeah, what is it? A 20?
20.
It's a
That's
20,
nice.
my friend.
Yes.
Could you left him 100? You're made out of money there.
No,
Jesus.
he's got things to do, Vince.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil
I
it.
want to be gauche.
Yeah.
Wow, I
Nouveau
can't wait to
riche.
watch that.
I know.
Well, you guys did a wonderful job talking about it. This being the first time you've ever laid eyes on it, and without the soundtrack.
And
So,
looking
well done.
looking at all these names of Ben Scissors and Dennis and all these people we've worked with. We actually, the premiere of the show was last night, and we got to see a lot of these people again, and I don't know if they're ever going to be in the same place again.
No.
So it's very touching.
Thanks for listening. and
Thanks,
watching.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.